It's kind of funny how something like a tiny paper cut or maybe going for a blood test suddenly makes you think about blood.
Yeah, it brings it front and center, doesn't it?
Right. And this stuff, this red liquid that we all have, it's easy to just take it for granted, but it's so much more.
Oh, absolutely. It's a whole living system, really dynamic.
It's like your body's ultimate multitasker, delivering nutrients, hauling away waste, keeping the chemistry just right, fighting off infections. It does everything.
It really does, nonstop.
So today we're doing a deep dive into the marvel of blood's components. Our mission really is to unpack this amazing substance.
Mm-hmm.
We want to show you the surprising complexity, how everything inside is connected. Basically, you're going to get a shortcut to understanding your own lifeline.
And what's so fascinating to me is you look at it and it seems, well,
Yeah.
uniform,
Yeah.
right? Just red fluid.
Yeah.
But it's actually this bustling city like a metropolis packed with specialized components. Each one has its own critical job.
A city inside you. I like that.
Yeah, and they all work together with this incredible efficiency. It's kind of breathtaking when you think about it.
Totally. And to really get a feel for it, we're going to sort of follow the science, almost like putting it under a microscope.
Mm-hmm.
We'll look at the different layers that form and what each one actually does. It's a journey right into, well, the core of how we work.
Let's do it.
Okay, so to start, how do we even see these different parts? You mentioned separating it out. Imagine taking a vial of your blood and spinning it really, really fast.
Right, like in a centrifuge. It sounds simple, but it's a really elegant technique.
Centrifugation, okay.
Yeah, and what it does is use that spinning force, that centrifugal force, to separate things out by how heavy they are, basically by density.
Ah, makes sense. Heavier stuff goes down, lighter stuff stays up.
Exactly. The heavier bits get pushed to the bottom, the lighter components float towards the top, and this neatly splits your whole blood into 3 distinct layers.
3 layers, so you can actually see the separation.
Oh yeah, quite clearly. At the very bottom, you get the densest part that's the erythrocyte.
The red blood cells.
Right. Then just above that, there's this thin, kind of whitish layer that's called the buffy coat.
Buffy coat, okay.
And then the biggest layer right at the top is the plasma. It's like a visual map of everything inside.
Cool. Okay, so let's start at the bottom then, with those erythrocytes, the red blood cells. That's the biggest chunk down there, right?
It is. It makes up a really significant portion, usually around 45% of your total blood volume.
Wow, almost half.
Yeah. And that percentage, that 45%, actually has a name. It's called the hematocrit.
Hematocrit, I've heard that term on blood tests.
Exactly. And it's a really important number. It gives doctors a quick snapshot of your red blood cell situation.
So what does it tell them?
Well, if the hematocrit is low, it means you might not have enough red blood cells. Maybe your body isn't making enough, or perhaps they're being destroyed too quickly. That could point towards something like anemia.
Okay, and if it's high?
A high hematocrit could mean a few things. Sometimes it's just dehydration. Less water in your blood makes the red cell portion seem higher.
Ah, right. Less liquid overall.
Precisely. Or it could mean your body's actually making too many red blood cells, which can happen in certain diseases. So it's a key diagnostic clue.
Got it. Now, the main job of these red blood cells, this is where it gets really cool, right? So the oxygen delivery guys.
That's their prime directive, absolutely. They pick up oxygen in your lungs, ferry it out to all your tissues that need it to function, and then they grab the waste product, carbon dioxide, and bring it back to the lungs to be exhaled.
It's like a constant high-stakes delivery service.
Nonstop, 24/7. And their design is just perfectly engineered for it.
How so?
Well, first, their shape. They're like these thin discs, but they're dented in the middle on both sides. Biconcave, we call it.
Okay, like a little donut without the hole punched through.
Kind of, yeah. And that shape does 2 amazing things. One, it makes them incredibly flexible. They could literally bend and squeeze through the tiniest blood vessels, the capillaries, which are sometimes even narrower than the cells themselves.
Wow, really?
Yeah. And 2, that biconcave shape massively increases their surface area relative to their volume. More surface area means faster, more efficient exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide.
That's clever design. And there's something else unique about them too, isn't there? About what's inside them, or rather what's not inside.
Right. As they mature, red blood cells actually kick out their nucleus and most of their other internal machinery, their organelles.
They get rid of their own control center. Why?
To make more room, they basically become these streamlined bags, optimized for one thing, carrying hemoglobin.
Ah, hemoglobin, that's the key protein, right?
That's the molecule that physically binds to oxygen and carries it. By ditching the nucleus and stuff, they maximize the amount of hemoglobin they can pack in. It's an amazing example of specialization, sacrificing self-repair for maximum oxygen carrying capacity.
So they're basically just super specialized delivery drones packed with oxygen cargo. But without a nucleus, without repair kits, they can't last forever, right?
Exactly. Their lifespan is pretty short, relatively speaking, only about 120 days on average.
4 months, that seems short for a cell.
It is, but your body compensates brilliantly. Your bone marrow is constantly producing new ones.
Yeah.
We're talking over 2 million new red blood cells churned out every single second.
Every second. That's incredible.
Yeah, so it's this continuous cycle of production and replacement, ensuring you always have a fresh, effective workforce delivering that vital oxygen. It's a high turnover system.
Okay, amazing. Let's move up the tube then. Above that big red layer, you said there's that thin whitish layer, the buffy coat.
That's right, it looks tiny, less than 1% of the total blood volume.
Less than 1%. Seems insignificant.
Looks can be deceiving. That thin layer is incredibly important. It contains two other crucial types of blood components, platelets and leukocytes.
Leukocytes are the white blood cells.
Correct. So the buffy coat holds your platelets and your white blood cells. Think of it as your body's combined rapid repair crew and its immune defense force, all packed into that tiny space.
Repair and defense. Okay, let's break that down. Platelets first.
Sure. Platelets aren't actually whole cells. They're more like little fragments, tiny pieces that break off from very large cells called megakaryocytes, which live in the bone marrow.
So little bits break off. What do they do?
Their main job is absolutely critical.
Yeah.
They stop bleeding, hemostasis.
Okay.
When you get a cut, or even just a tiny break in a blood vessel wall that you wouldn't even notice, platelets are the first responders. They rush to the site, stick to the damaged area, and then stick to each other, clumping together.
Like forming a little plug?
Exactly. They form a temporary platelet plug. It's the immediate mechanical barrier that seals the breach and prevents further blood loss. It's the first crucial step in clotting.
Wow. So every time you get a little nick, these tiny fragments are instantly patching it up.
Pretty much. They're always circulating, ready to jump into action.
Okay, so that's the repair crew. What about the defense force? The leukocytes, the white blood cells.
Right. Now, these are complete cells. Unlike red blood cells, they have a nucleus, they have all the usual organelles. They are basically your immune system on patrol within your bloodstream.
The body's army.
A mobile army, yeah.
Yeah.
Their overall job is to protect you from, well, anything harmful.
Mm.
Invading pathogens like bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites. They also target abnormal body cells like cancer cells and help clean up cellular debris and toxins.
So a really diverse set of threats they handle. Are they all the same or are there different kinds?
Oh, many different kinds, highly specialized. We group them into two main categories based on how they look under a microscope, specifically whether they have visible granules in their cytoplasm.
Granules, like little packets of stuff inside.
Exactly. So first you have the granulocytes. These include neutrophils, which are the most common type, making up maybe 50–70% of your white blood cells.
Oh, good, the main soldiers.
Yeah, they're the first responders to bacterial infections. They rush in and basically engulf and destroy bacteria, a process called phagocytosis.
They eat the bad guys.
Pretty much. Then you have eosinophils,
Hmm.
much less common, maybe 2–4%. They specialize in fighting off parasitic worms and are also involved in allergic reactions.
Parasites.
And finally, the rarest granulocytes are basophils, less than 1%. They release histamine and other chemicals involved in inflammation and allergic responses. Think hives, asthma attacks. Basophils play a key role.
So those granulocytes are like the immediate attack force, each with slightly different weapons.
You could say that. Then the other main category is the agranulocytes. They lack those obvious granules.
Okay, the smoother looking ones?
Right. This group includes lymphocytes, which are the second most common type overall, maybe 20–40%. Lymphocytes are the powerhouses of your adaptive immune system.
Adaptive, what does that mean?
It means they provide a specific, targeted response, and they have memory. This includes B cells, T cells, and natural killer cells. These cells make antibodies, those proteins that specifically latch onto a particular pathogen, tagging it for destruction. T cells do various things, like directly killing infected cells or cancer cells, and coordinating the overall immune response.
And the memory part.
That's crucial. Once lymphocytes have encountered a specific pathogen, say the chickenpox virus, they remember it. If you're exposed again years later, they mount a much faster and stronger attack, often preventing you from getting sick. That's the basis of immunity and how vaccines work.
Got it. That's amazing. Who else is in the agranulocyte group?
The other main type are monocytes. They're the largest type of white blood cell, making up about 2–8%. They circulate in the blood for a short time, then they move out into the body tissues.
They leave the bloodstream.
Yes, and once they're in the tissues, they mature into macrophages.
Macrophages, I've heard of them. The big eaters.
Exactly. They are powerful phagocytes. They engulf and digest bacteria, cellular debris, old cells, foreign particles, basically the cleanup crew, and heavy-duty defenders in the tissues.
So white blood cells aren't just confined to the blood.
Not at all. And that's one of their most remarkable features, especially for monocytes becoming macrophages and also neutrophils. They can actively squeeze between the cells that line the blood vessels to get out into the surrounding tissues where infections or injuries might be happening.
How do they do that? Squeeze between cells?
It's a process called diapedesis, or extravasation. They literally crawl through the vessel wall. Think of the bloodstream as their highway system, allowing them to travel quickly around the body, but they can exit that highway wherever they're needed to fight battles in the local neighborhoods, your tissues.
That's incredible mobility, a truly deployable defense force.
It really is. It's fundamental to how your immune system reaches problems anywhere in the body.
Okay, mind blown by the Buffy coat. Now let's go to the top layer, the biggest one you said, plasma.
That's right. Plasma makes up the majority of your blood volume, typically around 55%. Unlike the other layers, it's acellular no cells.
No cells. So it's just liquid.
It's mostly liquid, yes, but it's far from inactive or just filler. Plasma is the liquid matrix, the transport medium for everything else. It's like the bustling river everything flows in.
The internal ocean, maybe?
I like that. And about 92% of it is just water. That water acts as the solvent, keeping everything dissolved or suspended, and it also helps regulate your body temperature.
Okay, mostly water. But what's in the other 8–10%? That must be where the action is.
Absolutely. That remaining percentage is packed with vital substances. The most abundant are plasma proteins.
Proteins floating in the water.
Thousands of different kinds, but three main groups dominate. The most plentiful is albumin.
Albumin, okay.
It's made primarily by your liver. Albumin's biggest job is maintaining oncotic pressure.
Oncotic pressure, what's that?
It's basically osmotic pressure exerted by proteins. Albumin acts like a sponge, pulling water towards it and keeping that water inside your blood vessels. Without enough albumin, fluid tends to leak out into your tissues, causing swelling or edema.
Ah, okay. So it keeps the water where it's supposed to be.
Exactly. But that's not all. Albumin is also a major transport protein. It binds to and carries things that don't dissolve well in water, like fatty acids, calcium, certain hormones, bilirubin, and even some medications, shuttling them safely through the bloodstream.
Like a molecular taxi service in the blood river.
That's a great analogy. Then you have the globulins. This is a more diverse group.
Globulins, okay.
They include alpha and beta globulins, which also transport things like lipids, fats, metal ions, and fat-soluble vitamins. And crucially, this group also includes the gamma globulins.
Gamma globulins. This sounds familiar.
You probably know them better as antibodies.
Ah, the immune proteins made by B cells.
Exactly. Those antibodies circulate in the plasma, ready to tag specific invaders.
Wow, so the antibodies are just floating around in the plasma.
Yep, part of that globulin fraction. And the third major protein type is fibrinogen.
Fibrinogen. Sounds like fiber.
Good connection.
Yeah.
Fibrinogen is also made by the liver, and it's absolutely essential for blood clotting. It's the precursor to fibrin. When you get a cut and the clotting process starts, fibrinogen gets converted into long, sticky strands of fibrin. These strands form a mesh network over the initial platelet plug, trapping more blood cells and reinforcing the clot, making it strong and stable. It's like the rebar in concrete.
So platelets make the initial patch, fibrinogen makes the strong, permanent seal.
It's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
And plasma contains not just fibrinogen, but also many other clotting factors needed for that whole cascade to work properly.
Okay. Now, sometimes you hear about serum instead of plasma, especially in lab tests. What's the difference?
Great question. It's simple. Serum is plasma without the clotting factors, mainly fibrinogen.
How do they get rid of them?
You just let the blood clot naturally in the tube. The fibrinogen gets used up to form the clot. Then, when you spin it down, the liquid you get on top is serum. It has albumin, globulins, including antibodies, electrolytes, etc., but no fibrinogen. If you add an anticoagulant before spinning, the blood doesn't clot, and the liquid on top is plasma with fibrinogen still in it.
Got it. Serum, plasma, minus clotting factors.
Yeah. Exactly. Useful distinction for different tests. Now, besides proteins, Plasma is also full of electrolytes.
Like sodium, potassium?
Precisely. Sodium, potassium, calcium chloride, bicarbonate. These aren't just passive passengers. They are actively managed and play critical roles,
Such as?
maintaining the pH balance of your blood, keeping it in that very narrow, slightly alkaline range that all your cells need to function properly. That's acid-base physiology. They also regulate blood osmolarity, the overall concentration of solutes, which affects how water moves between blood and tissues, and is vital for nerve and muscle function.
So electrolytes are crucial for basic body chemistry and fluid balance.
Absolutely vital. And finally, plasma carries loads of other things. Nutrients absorbed from your gut like glucose and amino acids, hormones traveling from glands to target organs, waste products like urea heading to the kidneys, and even dissolved gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide, though most gas is carried by red cells.
Man, so plasma isn't just water at all. It's this incredibly complex soup, this transport system, this chemical balancing act.
It really is. It's the ultimate logistics manager, isn't it?
Mm.
Delivering everything needed, removing waste, keeping the internal environment stable, facilitating immune responses, enabling clotting. It connects everything.
It's working non-stop behind the scenes. Just incredible. So we've taken quite a journey today, haven't we? From the bottom of that centrifuge tube right to the top.
We really peered back the layers.
Yeah, we saw the red blood cells, those amazing oxygen couriers, then the Buffy coat, that tiny layer packed with the platelet repair crews and the diverse army of white blood cells.
Your defense and repair specialists.
Right. And finally, plasma, this incredibly complex liquid matrix doing all the transport and balancing. I hope this deep dive really gives you a new appreciation for what's happening inside you literally every second.
It's constantly working, silently maintaining life. And it does make you think. Given how finely tuned this whole system is.
Yeah.
What can subtle changes in these components, things picked up on a routine blood test, actually tell us about our health? Understanding this complexity, even just a bit more, maybe it empowers you to ask better questions, to understand your own body better.
That's a really powerful thought, thinking about how this intricate organization supports everything we do every single moment, and maybe wondering what else is going on in there that we haven't even fully uncovered yet? What mysteries are still hiding in plain sight?